my friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin, and today is Friday, which means it is Book Review Friday once again. And actually, today isn't your typical Book Review Friday. We are talking about a manga today. The manga we are talking about is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. So, I'm very excited. I've been wanting to read this for probably a year now. It's been sitting on my shelf and I just haven't gotten around to it, which is pretty annoying, but I took the plunge. Now before we get started, I am going to add a few disclaimers because my last Junji Ito video got a few comments and I'm going to try to nip those in the bud before we start this video. I am going to try my hardest to pronounce these names correctly. However, I'm just not good at pronouncing names in general. Any kind of name, very hard to me. Japanese names are especially hard for me if I haven't heard someone pronounce it out loud. Now when I watch animes, it's easier because I hear them pronounce the name over and over again and then I can understand it. When I read it, it's a little bit harder for me. I sound it out as I would typically in English. So if I make a mistake, please be nice to me in the comments down below. You can correct me, that's totally fine. I would love to know the correct pronunciation. Just be kind, please. I had comments before in my other Junji Ito video where people were a little rude, and I'm trying my best, so just if you want to correct me, just please do it in a very nice manner. I am a person with feelings and I'm trying my best. So if I pronounce something wrong, I'm very, very sorry. I tried to find out the pronunciations, but I saw a lot of mixed things, so I'm a little confused. So I'm just gonna go off of what I think is right. I'm pretty sure one of the names is wrong how I'm gonna pronounce it, so I will let you know when that happens. But second disclaimer, my plot synopsis is going to be very, very short today. Just because I don't want to give you too much information about this story. I want you to figure it out for yourself, which I will talk about later on. So don't be surprised if it's like under a minute. I'm just going to do a really quick synopsis. I'm sorry that took so long. I know that was a very long intro, but I had to get it out of the way because I don't want mean comments in the comments section. So thank you. Let's get into the video. Okay, well, I'm not really gonna go over the cover of this book because it's not too exciting, but you do have a lot of spirals on it. Hint, hint. We got a theme here, which we will talk about. So let's jump ahead into the plot synopsis. The story starts out with Kiri going to meet her boyfriend, Shuichi. Now I'm pretty sure the name I just said, Kiri, I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I think you add, like, I think it's Kirie or something like that. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna call her Kiri. Sorry. You know, we talked about it. She goes to meet up with her boyfriend, Shuichi. On her way to meet him, she runs into his dad, who seems to be enamored with a snail shell. When she meets up with Shuichi, he ends up telling her that his dad has become obsessed with spirals, and he's acting very strange. She really thinks nothing of it. She kind of blows him off. She doesn't think anything's wrong. She kind of just thinks there's really no harm to being obsessed with spirals. He goes on to tell her that it's this town that they live in. There's something wrong with this town. Something really wrong. And again, she just kind of blows him off. She doesn't really think too much of it. She kind of just thinks he's being weird. His dad's spiral obsession reaches a unhealthy level with very serious consequences. Enter the whole town being consumed by spirals. Things they never really noticed before in nature, in the human body, in anything, is now so clear a spiral. The spirals are everywhere. That's all I'm really going to tell you about this story because it is something you have to read for yourself. I know that just sounds so annoying, but it's just it's an experience. This is an experience you have to have for yourself. And I really don't want to go into too much detail about the chapters, the characters, or anything like that. I want you to be pretty unfamiliar with it until you read it. All you need to know is it's about spirals, it's a horror manga, and it's insane. That's all you really need to know. So I hope you don't mind that it's a quick, really short synopsis, but I really just don't want to go into too much detail. There's just so much to talk about, and I don't want to give it away. So let's get into my thoughts. Everyone talks about this story. I have heard countless people tell me I need to read Uzumaki. I need to read it. It's the best. It's a Junji Ito's best work. It's his masterpiece that I just have to read it. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I read the description of the book, I was not unimpressed, just more unenthusiastic. I was like, okay, spirals. I've seen spirals a lot. They're a shape. How can a spiral be scary? It doesn't really make sense to me. I was just a little, I don't know, it didn't sound as good as some of his other stuff. So I think that's why I've been putting it off, because I just felt like it wasn't going to impress me like his other stuff would. Boy oh boy, was I wrong. I'm sure many of you are also thinking, how can a spiral be scary? I know, I was with you. I was completely with you. And I think that's a very valid thought to have before starting this story, because it's a weird subject matter, I guess. It's just a weird thing to have a story center around, is spirals, but somehow he does it very, very well. This story is very creepy, it's very weird, and it's very messed up. Those are pretty much the only things I can think of to describe it without telling you very specific things and giving a lot away. It's just, it's messed up, it's weird, it's freaky, it's strange. It's strange. I feel like that can sum up a lot of Junji Ito's work though. He writes about strange things and somehow he makes it work. So, you know, strange. I am going to say that I think if this was written as a regular book, not as a manga with art, I don't think this would have this same effect that it does as a manga. And I think the reason that this does so well and it's so freaky and so creepy and so weird and so messed up is because of his artwork. The art is so disturbing and so detailed and so haunting, but also very beautiful. It's a very weird, it's hard to describe. I know haunting, creepy, weird, freaky, and beautiful are they're very different, but it is beautiful. His artwork is stunning. It's just also weird and detailed and creepy. It's just, that's just his artwork. And I think the art is what makes this story what it is. It could never be written as anything else but a manga. It really helps dive you into the story. It really helps you be consumed by the story. It's the art. The art is what makes this what it is. He is the master of making you nervous to turn a page. You always know when he's building up to something because these 2 pages will just, it'll just be eerie, and you notice that the characters are looking at something very disturbing, and then you turn the page and it's just this giant picture of something really, really disturbing. And for me, it almost mimics a movie. And I know this is gonna sound weird at first, but bear with me. I'm gonna try to explain it. So, do you know when you're watching a horror movie and the camera will be on the characters and you'll see them looking maybe straight at the camera or into the distance, and they're like, you know, they have those like weird expressions. They're like, you know, like that. And then all of a sudden it pans and it's just like, whoa. something scary. The music climaxes and it's like, duh, you know. So, you know what I'm talking about. Like, that's a very bad description, but like that's what it makes me think of. It almost mimics that building up, that suspense, that you just know, that gripping feeling that something's about to happen. When you turn that page, you're gonna see something and it's gonna be really, really messed up. I hope that makes sense. I tried to explain it to my boyfriend when I was telling him, and he said he understood what I was saying, but also I just think the way I'm describing it is weird, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. These pictures are going to haunt me for a really long time. I don't know if you can tell, but I drew spirals on my eyes for my makeup look because I try to make my makeup match the book cover, but there's something about spirals now to me. I just don't like them. I will probably never look at a spiral the same way again. I keep almost looking for spirals just because I don't know, I'm like freaked out about spirals. I'll never be able to look at a snail again. Oh my god, snails. I used to love snails. I can't. I don't want to look at one ever again. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will if you read the story. It's why you gotta make snails so creepy and weird, and I just never want to look at a snail again, or a spiral, to be honest. I'm kind of freaked out about both, and I probably will be for a while, to be honest. I know that sounds kind of lame and weird, but I just don't want to see them again. I saw them way too much and way too messed up in this story that seeing them in real life would probably freak me out. Shuichi was by far my favorite character. He was definitely the smartest character. He was the only one that really knew what was going on. He knew about the spirals. He was just so knowledgeable, and it felt like no one wanted to listen to him. It's almost as if they treated him like he was some weird conspiracy theorist dude. Like, you know how in movies they portray conspiracy theorists as people that wear the tinfoil hats and they're like, whoa, something crazy is about to happen. The world's run by mutant lizards or whatever. I'm making that up. I don't know if that's what they really say. But you know what I mean. They have this weird personality. They seem off. They're like recluses. They live alone. They're very a lone wolf kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? How they portray those weird conspiracy theorists people as kind of crazy. I feel like that's what people felt about Shuichi, and it was so frustrating because he actually knew what was going on and no one wanted to listen to him, and it was so frustrating because you as the reader know that he's right and that he's onto something and that he's the smart one. Everyone else was kind of just like, oh, that Shuichi, he's a woo, you know, he's a crazy dude. That's what I felt like, and it was very annoying. Granted, I get that him talking about spirals and stuff would probably seem weird to normal people, but as the reader it's frustrating because you know what's going on and you read about the spirals and you know what's happening. So it's just frustrating that no one gave his thoughts the time of day half the time. He also saved Kiri so many times. She could have died in so many different circumstances by so many different things, and he was like always there to protect her. He was such a good boyfriend, honestly, and it kind of made me mad because still people were like, oh, he's crazy, but like, you know, I feel like after certain events this would change. But I just really liked Shuichi. I thought he was a really good character. He was my favorite. I really liked him. The ending was absolutely crazy. It was a whirlwind. It was insane, just like the rest of the story. It wasn't necessarily a good ending if you want to put it in like those kinds of words. I honestly feel like I couldn't see the story ending any other way. It made sense. It wasn't necessarily good, but I think it made sense for the story, and I really didn't have any other idea of how it would end. So the overall story is just incredibly insane, incredibly crazy, incredibly weird, incredibly something that I would never even think about on my own. I would have never come up with this. It's very unique. It's very Junji Ito. I mean, if you read his stuff, you know what he's like, so this is very him. I'm not even touching on half of the stuff that happens in the story. I mean, so many things happen in this story, so many things, but I really just don't want to go into too much detail. I want you guys to check it out for yourself if it's something you want to read. It's an experience. It's a lot. It's weird. It's weird. There's not a lot of words to describe it. So if you're a fan of Junji Ito, you might want to check this out. It's one of those stories that will kind of leave you speechless and kind of leave you sitting there thinking, what the frick did I just read? What is this? What happened? What was any of this? That's how I felt, and that's honestly how I still feel. I read it yesterday and I still feel like this. I'm still slightly confused, slightly weirded out, slightly creeped out. I have a lot of emotions about it. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. Overall, I loved it, and it's probably my favorite work by him thus far. I haven't read everything he's done, obviously, but so far this is probably my favorite. I'm telling you, I probably won't forget about this story for a very long time. I think this will stay with me for a while, and that's all I really can say about this story. There's not much else to say. Spirals, man. Who knew spirals would be so freaky and weird and crazy and creepy and beautiful, and I don't know. It's a lot. So that's going to do it on my review of Uzumaki. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have read Uzumaki and what you think of it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I look forward to hearing how I mispronounced the names. So thank you in advance to whoever corrects me down below. Hopefully you are kind about it. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you enjoy from me. That way I can provide you with that kind of content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about makeup, horror, manga, books. Did I say makeup already? Movies, all kinds of things. I do a lot on this channel, so hopefully there's something for everyone. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a really great weekend, and I will see you on Monday with another video. Bye!